Welcome back, our wonderful Silver Sage Hub community, to today's explainer. We've got a really exciting one for you today. We're focusing on a highly practical, totally science-backed approach to your daily meals, drawing on some brilliant analytical insights from food scientist Krish Ashok. We are going to explore exactly how to eat joyfully and independently to really put that Arlen standard into practice.
Hello, friend. Structuring a daily diet plan for our Silver Sage Hub community is just such a wonderful way to put the Arlen standard into practice. By focusing on the root mechanisms of how our bodies actually process food, instead of just restricting what we eat, which is no fun at all, we can build a simple, joyful approach to our daily meals that actively supports your lifelong independence.
Okay, let's quickly look at our itinerary for the day. First, wisdom in the muscle parking lot, followed by morning vitality, afternoon vitality, evening vitality, and finally, connection and reclaiming your time.
Starting right off with Section 1, Wisdom and the Muscle Parking Lot.
Now, before we even look at a plate of food, we really have to get to the root cause of age-related metabolic issues like type 2 diabetes. As we get older, our bodies can really struggle with blood sugar, and we often blame the sugar itself, right? But the primary defect in type 2 diabetes actually occurs right in our skeletal muscle. When you eat, carbohydrates become glucose in your blood. Insulin is supposed to knock on your cell's doors to let that glucose in. But with insulin resistance, your cells simply stop responding to that knock. It just leaves that sugar dangerously circulating in your blood.
Okay, let's dive into this brilliant analogy from the research. Think of your skeletal muscles as a giant parking lot for blood sugar cars. If you've got a massive 200-space parking lot and 150 cars arrive after a big meal, everything is perfectly fine. But as we age, we naturally lose muscle, so that parking lot shrinks. If it shrinks down to a tiny 50-space lot, suddenly you have 100 glucose cars just circling your bloodstream with absolutely nowhere to go. So building and maintaining muscle physically expands that parking lot.
To rebuild and maintain this absolutely vital parking lot, we really need to aim for 50 to 60 grams of complete protein every single day. Now, does that sound like a lot? Don't worry at all. Our upcoming meal tweaks are specifically designed to easily and deliciously integrate this essential protein right into the traditional meals you already love.
Moving right along to Section 2, Morning Vitality.
First up is the beverage rule. Look, we all love our morning tea and coffee, right? I know I do. But you really should avoid drinking them immediately after your breakfast. Why? Well, because the polyphenols and tannins in tea and coffee actually chemically bind to the plant-based iron from your food. It effectively robs your body of essential nutrients by blocking their absorption completely. So just enjoy your morning cup at least an hour before or an hour after your meal.
Now for your actual breakfast plate. You absolutely do not need to give up your favorite traditional breakfasts like idli, dosa, or chila. No way! We're just going to upgrade them. Simply grate some paneer or tofu right into the batter, or just mix in a scoop of unflavored whey or plant protein powder. It's that easy. This stealthy little step works absolute magic. It slows down the rapid absorption of carbohydrates, which prevents that dreaded blood sugar spike, all while giving those aging muscles the crucial building blocks they desperately need.
And hey, if you enjoy them, eggs are an incredibly useful tool here. They actually have a perfect protein absorption score, meaning your body utilizes 100% of the protein. You can boil a batch in 10 minutes and just keep them in the fridge for easy access. And if you have any cultural hesitations about them, please be reassured. Supermarket eggs are entirely unfertilized. There's absolutely no growing life inside. They're simply a natural byproduct of the hen's cycle, exactly like milk is for a cow.
All right, shifting gears to Section 3, Afternoon Vitality.
We've probably all been told that fresh, hot rice is the absolute best. Well, what's really interesting here is that science says the exact opposite. If you cook rice or potatoes on day 1 and cool them overnight in the refrigerator, their chemical structure fundamentally changes into what's called resistant starch. When you reheat it on day 2, it actively resists rapid digestion, completely preventing those sudden blood sugar spikes. Instead, it acts as a prebiotic fiber that feeds the healthy bacteria in your gut. So leftovers are literally medicine for your metabolism.
Now, when it comes to preparing our legumes, always try to use a pressure cooker for your dals. There's this lingering myth that pressure cooking somehow destroys nutrients. But the truth? Those higher temperatures actively rescue our aging digestive systems from doing unnecessary labor. It breaks down those really tough plant fibers and destroys anti-nutrients that cause gas and bloating. This makes the protein far easier for your body to actually extract and use. Okay, so your dal is perfectly pressure cooked. But let me ask you this. Why should you always, and I mean always, add a fresh squeeze of lemon to your dal or spinach right before you eat it? Any guesses?
Well, it's because plant-based iron is notoriously difficult for the human body to absorb. But by adding a squeeze of lemon, or amla, which are just packed with vitamin C, you create a chemical reaction that literally unlocks that plant-based iron. It allows your body to easily and readily absorb it. This simple, joyful addition totally upgrades a traditional meal into an absolute nutritional powerhouse.
Let's roll right into Section 4, Evening Vitality. As the day winds down, we are continuing our strategy of stealthy protein upgrades for some real restorative nutrition. Try mixing unflavored whey protein powder directly into your roti or chapati dough. It seamlessly adds high-quality, essential amino acids without changing the taste or messing with your beloved dinner routines at all. Also, a great tip: start adding soy chunks to your evening vegetable subsies and curries.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why soy chunks are so important. Look, by dry weight, soy chunks are nearly 50% protein. That is far denser than even chicken breast or dal. Plus, soy contains every single essential amino acid your body cannot produce on its own. It is an incredibly powerful tool for vegetarian diets.
Finally, finish your evening dishes with a tadka, tempering spices and hot oil or ghee. Now, this isn't just for that amazing flavor, it's actually pure chemistry. The medicinal and antioxidant molecules inside spices like turmeric and cumin are fat-soluble. So the hot oil acts as a solvent, highly efficiently extracting these beneficial compounds, so your body can actually absorb them and put them to good use.
Which brings us to our final pillar, Section 5, Connection and Reclaiming Your Time.
So the crucial point is this: eating well as an older adult absolutely shouldn't mean isolating yourself in the kitchen during your retirement years. Embrace modern convenience to free up your time. Seriously, do not fear your microwave. Science clearly shows microwaving actually retains more water-soluble vitamins than open-pan boiling because it cooks faster with way less water. And as we learned earlier, leftovers sitting in the refrigerator actively boost your metabolism by creating resistant starch. When you spend less time laboring over fresh, hot meals 3 times a day, you have vastly more energy to connect with the people you love.
My friend, becoming the executive manager of your biology is really just about making smart, scientific tweaks to the foods you already know and love. So I want to leave you with this: which of these meal adjustments feels the most achievable for you to start tomorrow? Are you going to try cooling your rice overnight, or perhaps upgrading your roti dough with some protein? Please share your commitment with our Silver Sage Hub community below. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today, and here is to your wisdom, your vitality, and your connections. Catch you next time.